Hey first graders, so this book is really wide, so I'm going to try to read it sideways, and we'll see what happens. This book is called The Girl Who Never Made Mistakes. It's written and illustrated by Mark Pett, and additionally illustrated by Gary Rubinstein. The Girl Who Never Made Mistakes. Can you think about that? Have you ever made mistakes? Well, of course you have. We all have. So can you imagine a girl who's never made any mistakes? Oh my, we're going to have to figure this out. So this book is published by Sourcebooks, Jabberwocky. What a fun name. For Beatrice Bottomwell, Friday began like any other day. She matched her socks, and of course she put her shoes on their proper feet. She remembered to feed her hamster Humbert, his favorite food, broccoli. And when she made a sandwich for her brother Carl's lunch, she used exactly the same amount of peanut butter and jelly. When she stepped outside to greet her fans, she didn't forget to say good morning and thank you. They asked if she made her bed. She had. They asked if she'd forgotten to do her math homework. Well, no. What about tonight's talent show, they asked. I'm ready, said Beatrice with a smile. After all, her juggling act had won 3 years in a row. Can you believe that? She's got a whole crowd of people, whole fans, a lot of fans. They're just, she never makes mistakes. Most people in town didn't even know Beatrice's name. They just called her the girl who never made mistakes, because for as long as anyone can remember, she never did. Unlike Beatrice, this boy named Carl, he made a lot of mistakes. He ate his crayons, and he drew with his green beans. How silly is that? He danced with his hands and played the piano with his feet. Carl loved to make mistakes. At school, Beatrice was on a cooking team with her 2 best friends, Millie and Sarah. To make their giant rhubarb muffins, they needed 4 eggs. Beatrice went to the refrigerator and carefully chose the biggest, eggiest eggs she could find. But on the way back, her legs slipped out from under her and the eggs went flying. Beatrice was about to make her first mistake. What do you think's gonna happen next? But she didn't. Oh, that was close, thought Beatrice. Sorry, Beatrice, I dropped a piece of rhubarb. Oh, don't mention it. She got an egg in her mouth. For the rest of the school day, Beatrice could not stop thinking about her almost mistake. She looks really sad in these pictures. She's having a lot of big emotions because she's thinking she almost made a mistake. On her way home from school, Beatrice watched Millie and Sarah ice skating in the park. Come join us, said Millie. It's fun, said Sarah. Beatrice watched them slip and slide on the frozen pond. Millie and Sarah laughed as they wobbled on the ice. No thanks, said Beatrice. At supper, Beatrice barely touched her food. Is everything all right, kiddo? Asked her father. I'm worried I'll mess up tonight, said Beatrice, and everyone will be watching. Worry? You don't make mistakes, he said with a smile. Beatrice tried to smile too. Oh, look at her emotions in this picture. Look at her face. Do you think she looks very happy? After supper, Beatrice got ready for the talent show. First, she woke Humbert up from his nap. Next, she got the salt shaker from the kitchen table. Finally, she filled a balloon with water. The school auditorium was packed. Beatrice felt her stomach jumping around inside her. I want you to think, what is she about to do with a water balloon, a salt shaker, and a hamster? I'm intrigued. Beatrice waited for her juggling music to begin. That's her! That's the girl who never makes mistakes, said a woman. Oh, we know she'll be perfect, said a man. When the music started, she tossed Humbert into the air. Next, she added the salt shaker, and finally the water balloon. Beatrice didn't miss a beat. The crowd clapped with delight, but Beatrice noticed something odd about the salt shaker. The specks falling out of it were not white. Let's make an inference right here, friends. Let's make a connection. She thinks she grabbed the salt shaker, but it's not white. So what do you think she really grabbed? Achoo! make another connection. Now what do you think she grabbed? Humbert was so surprised by the sneeze that he grabbed the water balloon with his claws. Kabloo! Humbert, pieces of water balloon, and the pepper, it was a pepper shaker, rained down on top of Beatrice. For the first time in as long as anyone can remember, Beatrice made a mistake, and it was a big one. Oh no, the music stopped. Beatrice didn't know what to do. Should she cry? Run off the stage? The crowd sat stunned. They couldn't believe it. The girl who never makes mistakes just made a mistake. Boys and girls, how do you think she's feeling right now? How do you feel in your stomach when you make a mistake? I want you to pause the video right now. If you're watching this, pause it. And I want you to say out loud, how do you think she's feeling? Let's find out. Beatrice looked up at Humbert. He looked back at her. His hamster fur was soaked and speckled with bits of balloons. Beatrice let out a giggle. The giggle grew into a chuckle, and the chuckle became a laugh. The people in the crowd looked at each other and then back at Beatrice. They began to giggle too, then chuckle, then finally roar with laughter. Beatrice and the audience laughed until they couldn't remember why they were laughing. Oh my, I think she has a great attitude about this, don't you? She has a great outlook on this. That night, Beatrice slept better than she ever had. In the morning, no fans greeted Beatrice. When she got dressed, Beatrice, for no reason at all, decided to put a polka dot sock on one foot and a plaid sock on the other foot. Beatrice and Carl made sandwiches. This time, they put the peanut butter and jelly on the outside. They called it an inside-out PB&J. Have you guys ever had an inside-out PB&J? It's pretty messy, but fun. Lunch was messy and delicious. Later, Beatrice found Millie and Sarah skating in the park. They fell a lot, and they laughed. Now, people no longer call her the girl who never makes mistakes. They just call her Beatrice. So, boys and girls, what did you think? I can't wait to hear what you think of this book. And remember, mistakes help our brain grow. And we all make mistakes. See you next time.